Hello everyone! My name is Ilyea, and I'll be narrating the tale for you today. Thankfully, the tale we have today is free to listen to, so please let this set your mood for the rest of the year. And since it's the new year, we'll be trying something different with a longer tale. This is part 1 to others that will be slowly released during the next few months. This story was co-written by Aurora and myself. If you like our work, feel free to visit our Tumblrs at iamauroraCole.tumblr.com and thebuildingcacophony.tumblr.com for more of our work. Links down below. The tale today recants the meeting of a quiet pirate named Archmay, or Aurora to those that know him, and Ilyea Cole. But before they were married, and before they even had kissed, it foretells their first meeting together and the various shenanigans that carries them through the current day. The original story didn't have a title, but for the sake of the podcast, I'd like to call this piece A Daring Meeting. Please enjoy. There was talk among the general populace that they were to take the successful war front that had liberated the Sindore people into Northrend. It was supposed to be filled with blood, glory, and death. So much death. But Ilyea didn't expect for death to happen, nor to take one of the few constant things in her life. These last few months had been literal hell. She was thrust into the wide open world with nary a spell to her name to try and survive. And she did. Ilyea met a warlock named Malefaka that preyed upon her uniqueness, but she survived even though it hurt her. She also rekindled her friendship with her cousin that she adored, Ledwin, before her uncle shipped her off to the academy. It was her uncle's request, so she could be civilized, tutored off to be this reformed dumbass, married, and then to be forgotten. Fuck that. Ilyea didn't go through all of this to die with but a whimper. She'll fight. She'll survive because at least she knows that someone wants her there. Ledwin, her cousin, the only family left that seemed to care despite all her glaring flaws. And then he stopped responding to her mails a few weeks ago. Ilyea knew that his lady love Azada had been lost in the preliminary squad to Northrend. That's at least what Ledwin said. He was beside himself with worry, but Ilyea was his family. Sure, they didn't get along at times, and had completely different mindsets, but at least they could have fun together. Be at least a family together. But then the letter stopped coming, and Ilyea knew. Malefaka instantly tore to that weakness of hers. If you mattered enough to him as family, maybe he would have never left. He was weak, Ilyea, just like you are. That set Ilyea off, and she could not let him fucking see her cry. She ran then within the painted towns of Silvermoon, the semi-balance of walking magical brooms. She was going to be alone again. Somewhere as she ran, the bun Ilyea kept her massive amount of blood-red hair became loose like a blood waterfall. If she was not dirty and dressed within torn battle clothing, some may consider her beautiful. She was a feral thing though. Ilyea couldn't help but think that if she was stronger, Ledwin wouldn't have wanted to go. It wasn't fair. Ilyea ran as far and as fast as her legs could carry her, till her lungs burned. The searing heat expanded across all the veins within her skin, like the fire magic she wielded. It wasn't fair. This whole situation wasn't fucking fair at all. Are you okay, miss? Causing the woman to turn sharply, glancing up at the mysterious man. His hair was soft and black, but it was hard to tell exactly how he was with her blurred vision. The tissue pressed to her eyes was as soft as his voice. Ilyea rubbed her dirtied hands across her eyes, causing the wild mane of dark red hair to spread like a halo as the wind swayed. It was rare for people to approach her, considering her reputation. "Thank you," Ilyea mumbled softly as she sniffled once more. The woman couldn't help herself and reached forward, closing her arms around his waist, letting her tears soak into the man's chest. His kindness reminded her at this time of Bloodwind, as she let herself be swept away by it. The mage half expected the man to throw her to the ground when he smelt her hair, or the grime that clung to her clothing, so she tensed slightly when he started to move. A light-hearted melody swelled in the air, and she realized there was a band playing music nearby. The kind stranger started to step to the beat, gathering her up in his movements. Ilyea warily let him lead, but he meant her no harm, as his hands did not travel any farther than they should have been. He was a true gentleman in the kindest sense, with her being at her lowest point. The music swayed, creating highs and lows that, corresponding with the soft winds, caressed the two. Ilyea felt bad because at least all she could do was cry, but he was letting her. It was nice and needed at this moment. Why do people always do stupid things for the ones they love? Ilyea choked out in a soft rasp. Her tears had slowed down as she issued this phrase. Because they love them so much, it hurts to be a part of them. The man offered simply in a low whisper. His voice was barely audible against the rising song, whispering against her ear. Ilyea shivered, but didn't seem to quite understand. It was stupid. The reason was far too easy, but the words made sense. It seemed to be exactly what she needed to hear at this time. Ilya's tears had stopped completely by the time the soft drawl of the music was ending, him pulling her into a practiced twirl as he let her go. The soft tissue was once more produced, and the tears cleaned her face as she looked up into his eyes. They seemed pure and honest. The mage suddenly wanted to know everything about this man. The question of his name hung lightly upon her lips, but if Malefaka found out, would he stay friends with her? Would his kindness wither? She couldn't risk that. The woman heaved a soft sigh, letting the words build like the music that had begun again. The meaning of her words childish, to a reason that felt just as stupid as the reason she was crying. Ilyea still felt like a child, even though she was very much a young adult. Something her mind was still grasping. I'm sorry for this, Ilyea whispered, biting her cracked lip. You're right, though. We need to do stupid things for the ones we love, the woman admitted, burying her hand shakily against her forehead, letting her red hair sway. The grime-soaked strand stuck to her face like some kind of shield protecting her. The fragile feral mage sighed once more and looked like she was going to break into tears again. But the man lifted her chin to look into her eyes. You're stronger than you realize, he admitted softly and then smiled. My cousin was lost in Northrend. That's where he said he was going last before he disappeared. Do you think if I joined the Horde regiment out there, I might find him? Though it was counterproductive, Ilyea already made up her mind. She just wanted to hear one person who didn't know of her history, her unfortunate destiny, her upbringing. She just wanted comfort. The man slowly shook his head and patted the tissue against her eyes once more, wiping away the grime until her face felt raw, unguarded. You can do anything you want. Fuck what other people say. Ilyea couldn't help but grin and inclined her head to the man. Ilyea, that's my name. See if you decide to go to Northrend, Fox. She teased and smiled. Thank you again, she muttered, and let the music dwell on. Maybe she won't see him again, but the stranger's kindness was needed. She felt horrible for not at least getting a name from him, but it was for his own good. Ilyea didn't let him respond as she broke into a small run, letting a long wave of her red hair trail behind her. And so Ilyea made up her mind to find her cousin in Northrend. The only question is how. And so, the daring meeting of Ilyea and Archmage started with tears and a song, but what else could mean for the pair? Stay tuned to find out. Just as Archmay and Ilyea found comfort in each other through song, we'd like to close out our podcast in music. Good news! Due to the popularity of Darius's music, he has agreed to help us with composing short songs for the ending of some of our podcasts. As far as if this one has one or not, depends on what Aurora will do, but keep a listen. We'll always put what music we end on in the notes below. If you're not sure who Darius is and would like to hear some of his music for yourself, feel free to listen to episode 10 where we have one of his songs at the end of the tale. Either way, let the music carry you to the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're doing now. If you do enjoy our work, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube section or to sign up for the podcast in any one of the links below. Want to submit a story? There's a link down there as well. Let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you. Like always, our time is short together, but what little time we have, thank you for sharing it. Good night.
That's full of blades I can't remove. Since I lost everything at once, it's been like this for months, and I've convinced myself there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, it's like my soul's exposed and I'm leaking, trying to figure out what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, drinking. Ain't nobody gonna understand. I gotta come up with another plan to get me out of the place I was stuck in, get me back to a place I can function. Trapped in a room, trapped in the gloom, overloaded with the stress and suffering. Can someone out there hear me? Please send a sign if so. Right now my brain's in a place where it's telling me it's better if I just let go. Used to not have no baggage, and I flew straight through the rain. So someone went and threw me off the plane.
Out of the sky I fall into despair. The ground is rushing up to me as I descend. If I could cast the pen away into the wind, then maybe I could fall in love again. I watched the sun go up and down the past 3 days now, aimlessly looking out my window all alone. And all my friends keep asking me about the man I used to be, and ask me when he's gonna wise up and come back home.
Yeah. Put my face on the page, put it on the telephone pole, I'm a missing person. Though I'm in plain sight, everything ain't right. Trying to fix it isn't working. Shot if I could write when I wake. Don't know how much more I can take. Trying to make like I'm stable up until I find myself on the floor when I'm breaking. Somebody out there hear me, please send a sign if so. Right now my brain's in a place where it's telling me it's better if I just let go. Used to not have no baggage, and I flew straight through the rain. So someone went and threw me off the plane.
Out of the sky I fall into despair. The ground is rushing up to me as I descend. If I could cast the pen away into the wind, then maybe I could fall in love again. There's one thing that this life's conveyed, is that as soon as you find some light it fades. So make sure you don't get stuck in a reverie, 'cause people come and